Welcome to HUR at Home. It's Ladies' Night. Wow, it seems like it's been forever since we've seen you. I'm your host, Angela Stribling, and I brought all my radio sisters with me. So let's get started. Starting with Kokalani. Come on in here, lady.
Hey! Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Like since last year, right?
I know, it seems like it's been a long time. And wait a minute, we have another beautiful radio sister to bring in here. Nina Brown, come on in here.
Yay!
Hi.
I've got
Wow.
my little minion in the background, just warning you.
I love it. Oh my goodness, he's stealing the show.
Just ignore him.
All this energy. Well, you know what? I have to apologize that our other sister, Autumn Joy, was unable to attend this evening. So we're just going to represent her. She's got a whole lot going on too. And she's been talking about it all week. She has her, I think it's her niece. And that's a handful.
Her nephew.
Yeah. Her nephew. I know he's really, really young. And, so she will be missed, but I'm so happy to see you ladies. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So let's just catch up first. I mean, there's so much to talk about. And I just want to know like how your holidays were, anything that you are determined to do differently in 2021. You want to start, Nina? What's going to be new for you?
A lot, but I'm not even going to speak on it yet. You know what they say, sometimes you got to move in silence so people don't know to attack. But I've got a lot of stuff happening right now, and I will update y'all as soon as we get to it.
Okay. Oh, I like that. That sounds good. I know it's all good stuff, knowing you.
For sure.
Kokalani?
I'm walking in the same way that Nina is, but I will say that I'm being very intentional with everything. So
that's nice.
That's the key word for this year, not, happenstance. Oh, this just worked out. I have to be very intentional with everything.
I love that.
And I think intentional and purposeful with everything. So, that's.
I love that. That's the key. And as for me, I just want to amplify what I do.
Okay.
I love my path. I'm so grateful to be able to do what I do, what I love for a living. And I'm just going to amplify all the things that I'm doing and take it to the next level and walk in silence like you ladies.
Yes.
So we will reconvene with this topic. We'll let our actions speak for us.
Yes.
Presnuff said, hey, welcome back. Thank you. And tell all your friends that we are back. They probably don't know to look for us. So Prez, we're counting on you to get these numbers. Bring them all in. So, gosh, what a monumental day this is.
Oh, yeah.
President being impeached for the second time. Yes. Thoughts about that? Comments?
I mean, last week was crazy. We're in DC, so, just the whole shutdown and curfew that was, wide in Virginia and DC, and it was just crazy. It was crazy. I was over near the Pentagon, when everything set off, and I heard the guns, shots that were fired. You could hear everything that was going on as far as the response, but it was just unbelievable. And as if you were watching the hearings today, they said everything is kind of unprecedented. And with the impeachment hearings, not only that, but just everything that happened last week was just crazy. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And it did show one thing that I will say that I think the whole world saw is the disparity in reaction that the police and all security forces take when it's people of color versus when it's not. I heard one of the retired Capitol police officers speak, and he said, it was definitely a drop the ball. I'm not, reportedly, but he said working there for over 30 years before he retired, he said, when Louis Farrakhan came up to the Capitol, he just had 4 people with him, and they called all of the Capitol they had so many people there.
There's no question about it. Even with the Black Lives Matter protest. I mean, come on.
So, it just looked like really like, okay. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Nina?
I mean, of course it was crazy. It was unbelievable. But after we talked to Roland Martin last week, I definitely looked at it differently because, like he said, the silver lining is now white people get to see how white people act, right? What white privilege really looks like, and how just like these Trump supporters really show out, right? Sometimes you have to almost see that. And today we had 10 Republicans who actually voted to impeach. That would not have happened. I've seen Trump supporters that I'm actually friends with, but I keep an eye on things. We're acquaintances. I wouldn't call them friends. And I've been checking their pages just to see, what are they saying this week?
Right.
And, it's just interesting to see how people are either quiet about it or the rhetoric is changing. And it's like, they need to see this. They need to see what we've seen, how we've been treated our whole existence. And now it's like, okay, you guys should get a piece of your own medicine. So
exactly,
it's interesting to see. And I just think we could sit back and be like, okay.
Now you see it.
Exactly.
And Roger, amplifying all that you have been doing is a beautiful response for the new year. I like that. Thank you very much, Roger. I like it. Natasha, hi WHUR family from Winchester, Virginia. Gotta love that. And it's interesting, now that Trump has been impeached for the second time, he's finally coming out and, condemning the violence and all of that. It's like,
right.
Where were you last week with this? So let's pivot for a second. Chris Cuomo was interviewing Ted Cruz and brought up the fact that Cruz really didn't do anything to defend his wife or his father when Trump talked about them. I mean, he called the man's wife ugly. And Cruz continues to support him. He's down with him. I mean, where is that loyalty? So it just got me thinking, of course, being the Pillow Talk with Angela person. I'm thinking about relationships. Have you ever been in a relationship where, let's say your man's best friend is talking about you and this is equivalent to that. And then your man is just going to be like, yeah, man, and then just being down with him and supporting him and doing everything for him and not being on your side. How would you handle that?
I throw him back, give him back to the streets is what I would do. I don't have nothing to do with it. Like a man, in my opinion, is supposed to be your protector.
Right.
He's not going to protect you verbally, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Why be with them? I mean,
I agree with that. But then I have heard conversations. It's funny that you bring this up. I've heard conversations from men talking, and again, it wasn't on the same level, but they were like, if we go out to a movie or something and some crazy guys start talking, I'm not going to engage in them because I'm not going to sit down to that level because we're over here, we're at a higher level. Some things, it's sort of like when eagles don't respond to chickens. Down there. You don't go.
But this is when someone at the movie theater says something about you, or just says something in general.
Okay, at the movie theater. So you're at the movie theater sitting and someone says something. I don't know. I would like you said, Nina, the protector, the provider. But then also sometimes silence is golden too. But I wouldn't be up there shaking his hands. That's basically what Ted Cruz is doing, right?
Yeah.
Like saying, man, I heard what you said, but that's a nice jacket. You don't do that, right? He's still supporting you. You want to be silent and opposed and don't say anything. But Ted Cruz is doing that extra step. It's like, It's like, okay, you talked about my wife. I didn't say anything, but I'm still supporting you. So I think in a theater scenario, somebody can say something, you can disregard it. But if you're like, yo, man, that's a nice jacket. Where'd you get that? No, that's wrong.
Talked about his wife and his father. Oh, Natasha said, I would say bye-bye. You know what? Exactly. I would do the same thing. Because that speaks volumes, I think, to the person's character and how they really feel about you.
Exactly.
Yeah. What is your son's name?
Brayden. I'm so sorry.
Brayden. Brayden, there you are. He's like, I just want to be a part of it. Good.
Real life, okay? He's supposed to be in bed already, and he just would not go to sleep. So
He's like, I'm going to go to bed when you go to bed, Mommy. In the meantime, Marvis, love from Baltimore, thank you. Marvis said, hi, Queens. Victoria, that's sad that you can't call someone with different political beliefs a friend.
Yeah. Well, not everyone on Facebook is your friend in real life. You know, I have a lot of acquaintances, neighbors, people that I've worked with. You know, everyone wants to be a social media friend. That's not a real friend in real life.
Exactly.
And I've seen family members who are Trump supporters that I've had to, you know, unfriend, and I don't mind doing that either. But
the term friend when we talk about Facebook doesn't necessarily mean friend in real life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For sure.
But you know what's so funny? Have you ever been out somewhere, especially in the early Facebook days, and, you know, everybody's just trying to get friends and, you know, friending some people you don't know that well and some you don't know at all. You're just, you know, new to this whole social media thing. And then you see them out and they're like, hi. I mean, really expecting you to know them? Yeah. That happened to me. I was like, what? And they're like, come on, we're Facebook friends. Some people really take it seriously.
I liked your picture 2 weeks ago.
Right. Right. I thought you were me. Come on.
Did you like my comment? And then I
right. It's like, this is, social media is a little bit different. I mean, I love it though. I love the medium. And so one of the things, and we talked about this before we got on this Kokalani, we were talking about movies. And I, you know, over the holidays, and certainly some people have the time to watch more movies than others. But I know I got some of my movies in. What are some of the movies that you watch that you know, maybe suggest to other people, both of you?
What'd you watch? Did you watch anything?
When you have a toddler, like he takes over, I watch Coco Melon, I watch Flippy, I watch all the kids shows y'all probably have never heard of.
No.
Watching as a toddler, you know what I'm talking about. I don't get a chance to watch movies.
Did you watch Soul? Because that's an animated thing. Did you watch Soul?
No, I haven't.
I want to see that.
I want to see that too. I haven't. I've heard so many great things about, and I heard it's kind of life changing. Really.
But Kokalani, what was the movie that you said that you saw?
3 things that I saw over the week. I saw Hamilton because I never saw Hamilton.
Oh, I love that.
I love that. That was long. It was I saw it. It was really very good. I have a great appreciation. Did you see it live or you saw it?
I saw it live in Chicago. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So good. No, unfortunately. But still, it was amazing.
So I saw that, and then I watched the season finale of Ghost, which is the Power sequel, like Ghost.
Oh.
Did you watch
I
that?
kind of lost it for Ghost once Ghost got shot. I can't get myself to, I can't get into it anymore.
You can't get into it. Well, the new season is like how it sequels after he passes away.
I watched one, and I loved Mary J. Blige. I mean, she is
I love Method
boss.
Man. Do you like Method Man? Method Man is good.
Yeah, I'll give it another shot. I mean, honestly, lately I've just been stuck on Bridgerton.
Okay, I haven't got that. I saw you talk about. I'm gonna watch that one. But I did watch Sylvie's Love. Did anybody else see
That's
that?
what you were talking about.
Did you watch it, Nina?
No, but I want to. I started to, but then I got distracted. But I want to.
Oh, okay. And I'm not. And now when people say I don't watch, I usually sometimes watch it on my phone because I'm always doing stuff, so I could keep it in the background. But that was really good. And one thing that I will say is, you know, when I was watching, I was like, oh, the lead character, he's kind of cute because it's a period piece. Sort of takes place back in the day. And it's a wonderful Black love story. It's a wonderful Black romantic love story showing you how sometimes timing doesn't work out for relationships and life keeps going on and things come back around. But one of the things that I found out after I saw the movie was that the lead character is Kerry Washington's husband. And, you know, Kerry Washington from Scandal. And you remember she got married like 5-6 years ago?
He's Nigerian, I think, right?
He's a retired football player, but when I tell you his acting was on point.
Nice.
It's really good. So you definitely, has anybody who's watching us now, have you seen Sylvie's Love?
Marvis is, yes, Bridgerton is everything. I've watched the whole series. And I was so upset that it was the end. I might go back and watch it again.
Did you watch
Brett said we have to watch Soul.
Okay.
It'll make you do so much more with your life. Marvis says Soul was just okay. Okay,
Just
so I
okay?
guess.
Okay, we got to
Depending on okay, so a movie that I also have been putting on my social media that I love, Fatale, with Michael Ealy, Hilary Swank.
Right?
So good.
Okay.
So good. Oh my, so you guys didn't see that yet?
I know it just came out. On which platform is it on so I can stream?
It's in the movie theater, but I know it's on Lionsgate. I mean, I kind of got to see the movie from them. So I'm not really sure, but I think if you just Google it, you could figure out how to do it.
Did you go to the theater or did you watch it online?
No, streaming. I just watched it at home. And I highly recommend it. Yeah, just Google Fatale. But that just leads me into a topic that I wanted to ask you ladies before we leave. I mean, it's kind of like the modern day Fatal Attraction. Remember that movie from back in the day, Michael Douglas and Glenn Close? But again, it's with Michael Ealy and Hilary Swank. It's so, I mean, just all these twists and turns. So obviously we haven't been a part of a real Fatal Attraction, but have you ever been in that, like a Fatal Attraction scenario or a stalker type situation, or somebody just like, oh God, I wish we had never gotten involved? Either of you?
I feel like Coca has.
I had a couple stalkers in the past. What about you, Nina?
No, I've never had any stalkers that like presented themselves to me. If they stalked me, I didn't know. But no, I've never had any scary type of moments like that. Thank God.
No scary moments.
No.
I had like maybe 2 scary moments.
Oh, do tell.
One scary moment was a long time ago. And you know, because what we do is so public, you know, that sometimes there are people who meet you and they'll act like they don't know who you are. And then they'll be like, oh, I don't even listen to the radio. I never. and then you're talking to me like, oh wow, and they just, it's sort of like they just happen to, oh wow, well, just happen to know you, and then come to find out this person had been, you know. Now,
was this somebody you were in a relationship with, or this is just a regular stalker?
It wasn't a relationship, but I was just getting to know someone. You know how you meet someone and they're like, and they just happened to be where I was when I was.
No.
The thing was, I didn't know, because you think it's just a coincidence.
Right.
I was living in Miami at that time.
Oh my God.
So it's just a coincidence that, you know, when I went, they're like, oh, hey, we see each other again. Hey, what's your name, by the way? Oh, okay. Well, so what are you doing here? And, you know, they didn't.
Well, I followed you.
You know, that was the one thing. But I think in college I had like a fatal thing. I don't know if it's fatal. I think fatal is too intense.
Right. That's why I said scenario.
I think a scenario, because I'm just trying to think back to the movie Fatal Attraction. But I do recall, like, one time in college, you know, hanging out with somebody, and they were like clocking me, and like they were just everywhere all the time. And I remember my roommate, he was like, "Oh my gosh, he was just everywhere you are," and he was outside my door listening.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
We were kind of, and Jesus forgive me, I'm not talking, but we were, and mind you, this was years ago, but we were like talking, because she was just like, wow, he's everywhere. And you know how your roommate's at Howard and you're talking, and I was living in the towers, and we were just talking, and she was laughing like, dang, he's just everywhere. He's da, da, da. And I was laughing too. And the next thing I know, underneath my door, I get a little note that says, you don't have to worry about me. But my thing was, what are you doing outside my door listening? You know, so that was like the scariest thing.
That's scary.
Two things, because I'm like, that's just kind of weird. But
that's
you know,
really weird.
And I don't know, sometimes, and I know we've talked about it, I don't know if we talked about it before, but I know people talk about things. Is it infatuation? Is it fatal when you don't like them the same way? Or is
if they're outside your door and they're showing up everywhere, that's a Fatal Attraction scenario. Roger writes, I almost went out with a woman who was in a halfway house. She pretended to be black. What?
Yeah, keep reading. She pretended to be
black. And come to find out, she was a white woman in a halfway house in Ohio, shaking my head. During the Yahoo personal days when it was free. That's crazy. Okay. That's weird.
Yes,
I was in a little bit of a
catfished Roger. She catfished.
yes, exactly. That was early catfish days.
Oh yeah. Okay. What about you? Come on, I want to hear yours, Angela. Break it down.
So mine was also a long time ago, and I was coming out of this long-term relationship, and even though I broke it off, I was still just really sad. I mean, breakups are just hard, no matter whose fault it is, no matter who pulls the plug. And I was just in a sad space, and I started seeing this guy who I knew for a long time, but just knew him as a friend. And suddenly I started dating him, which was, I shouldn't have. Anyway, so we started dating. I mean, he was super cute and everything, but we were just friends. So we started dating, but, never slept together, never got quite that far. But we were, seeing each other, talking every day, going out, blah, blah, blah. And then I just realized that's why you should never date anybody in the rebound, because when you come to your senses,
You're like, what the hell did I do?
What am I doing? No. So I tried to break it off. I broke it off with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy I was seeing wanted to come over just to talk. So he comes over, just to talk, and, didn't spend the night or anything. We never got back together, but it was good to just get, have some closure.
Right.
So he leaves, and, I don't think anything of anything. The next morning, I go out. I had a shoot. I leave my place. I used to have this condo at McLean Gardens, and at the front door are these two bushes. I walk out my front door. Homeboy comes out of the bushes. This was early in the morning. I had to leave at 6 o'clock in the morning. He must have been there all night.
Oh my God.
Say, like, I just happened to be here in the neighborhood.
I turned around and screamed. He's like, walks up to me really fast. He's like, what happened to you? What happened last night? I'm like, what? And I was just trying to get away from him. I was totally freaked out. And I said, I didn't know what to say. And he walks me to my car. It was so weird. I just said, listen, please stay away from me. I don't know what this is. And I ended up just getting the old boyfriend to just kind of hang around a little bit to get this guy
I had that happen before.
out of the way. You know what I mean? Because sometimes that'll snap him out of it. And that's what did it.
You bring someone around so they know that you're not by yourself. So they
Yeah.
hey, look, don't even come over here anymore.
Yeah, we're back together, even though we weren't.
Right.
But
I've had that happen.
that was scary.
That's why I really kind of get worried about people who are always on social media. They're always on live. They post everything.
Yeah.
Like even in their home, and it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
car they drive,
Right.
kids, where they work, when they're at the grocery store,
Look at this traffic.
when they're on vacation. Like,
Oh, yes.
very leery of what I post. Even if I'm on vacation, I usually post the photos as I'm coming home or once I'm home.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, just so people don't know I'm out of town. Like,
Right. So I can rob you blind.
And I want to see Patel, but there's this Netflix thing. What was it called? Something About You. It was the one about the stalker. Have you guys seen it? Somebody who's watching has watched it before. And the guy, exactly what you said, Nina, he's on social media. He follows this girl, and then he does everything to make it a coincidence. So they run into each other, and he looks through all her stuff so he can be the perfect man of her dreams because he sees the type of music she likes.
Oh, my goodness. No.
So she thinks he's just really, I think it's called Something About You. And she starts going out with him, and then he wants to get her away from all of her friends.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Boyfriend that comes back, and it goes into crazy stuff. How he goes in and he kills people because he's just crazy. But it's like you said, with social media, it gets kind of crazy because I think if you're in a relationship, it's okay to follow and be with whoever you want, but you can get a little crazy, what are you doing?
You don't really know. Marvis says he loves your earrings, Coca-Cola.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, and Odessa is back. Odessa said, hi, Odessa.
Yes,
Roger writes, can you get back to being just friends after you go to the next level? No, not after you're stalking me and coming out of the bushes. I want no parts of you.
I'm just trying to do some landscaping, Angela.
I had to stay all night just to do it.
You didn't give an excuse or anything. It was just like, what are you doing?
it was just crazy. He was just saying, give us a chance. He was just trying to be back, trying to be the man. You don't do it like that. You scared people. You scared me away from you forever. That ended the friendship. That ended everything. I didn't know this side of you. I did not know this side of you.
How long have you had been friends with him before? Like
about 5 years.
Wow.
5 years, but peripheral friends, not, call each other all the time and hang out. But, I knew him.
Right.
Well, kind of, but now I know more. I know a lot more. Lynn, Happy New Year. Songbird, shouting out
from the borough.
Greensboro.
Greensboro, okay.
Thank you, Lynn. Wow. Well, you know what?
So that movie Fatal is like that? It's like, so the movie Fatal?
Fatal, it's like that. I mean, it's, again, if you saw Fatal Attraction, there were no boiling bunnies.
Yeah, I remember
like in Fatal Attraction, but I mean, just the plot twists were crazy. I mean, Marvis, oh, well, no, not for stalkers. They're just cray-cray. Exactly. And in Fatal, I mean, it does kind of remind you to just be careful. I mean, not to be a spoiler, because hopefully you're going to see the movie.
Go ahead, spoil me.
But it's basically, I mean, just be careful. It was kind of a one-night stand gone wrong, just like in Fatal Attraction.
Okay, one-night stand gone wrong.
And people present, just like Kokalani, like you were saying, the person presented themselves as harmless who just happened to be everywhere you are.
Right, and it was like, wow, it's a coincidence. Wow, what are you doing here? I'm like,
oh, we like the same thing.
And then later, I'm like thinking, you heard the announcement on the radio that I was going to be hosting a party, and you just happened to, you didn't go to the party, but you outside in the, just outside in the street just happened. I'm like, oh my God.
But, honestly, if you're single, I don't see anything wrong with, someone finds you attractive. They hear that you're going to be at this restaurant or this club. They're going to legit come out there to meet you, but just be sane about it.
Just say, hey, I heard that you were going to be here. And
be honest.
Don't say, well, what's your name?
Oh, I don't listen to the radio.
I don't listen to the radio.
I just happen to be here at the radio promotion.
This is in Miami on South Beach, so it's like, have people just always on South Beach. So, it's I think on
I love South Beach.
It's like, oh, here. So that, like you said, there's a difference. That's why I was going to ask you, ladies, because there's a difference between stalking and a romantic interest taking initiative in pursuit.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's injured. So if someone sends you flowers to your job, you're like, I didn't even tell him where I work, but he just happened to send me, oh, that's romantic, or sending you things. That's romantic, but there's a fine line.
There's a fine line because
What's the line, Nina? What's the line, Angela?
The line is one thing if they come to your job because they know where you work, but you should know where I live. If I get flowers at my house and I have to be like, how did you get my house?
I've had that. And the flowers at work, but it was every single day.
Well, that's nice.
No, it wasn't. It was a full-on stalker at work. I ended up, we ended up getting security. It was bad.
Nice flowers?
Not the first ones. Honestly, the first flowers, it was in it was a pot of flowers. Yeah, where someone took flowers and stuck them in the dirt. I was like, and at first I was thinking, thank you. I didn't even know how to respond to that. And then the next day they were like, flowers from a supermarket. Okay.
Someone's grave.
Just, that's kind of, so our receptionist was saying that's kind of what it looked like. Anyway, I mean, there are ways. If you're trying to, as Kokalani was saying, there's a line.
What's the line? What's the line for you? Like you said, you don't want them sending you stuff to your house and you've never given you your home address. But,
Or dead flowers in a pot. That's not
no dead flowers. But if they take the research and say, hey, I found out you like this place to eat or your favorite color.
Oh, well, Roger answered it and said, got to read her reactions to your advances. Is something, I love that. That is, listen, that's golden, right?
Right.
I mean, if she's like put off, then kind of, back up a little bit. Oh, Isabella from Dubai is back. Hi. Oh my goodness. Monica says, don't tell. Well, this was, I think, the social media. Monica says, hi. Well, you know what? I love this catch up. And I think Roger dropped the mic on that one. When you're trying to figure out, am I going too far? Is there an interest? If there's no interest, then maybe just take the hint and, just be cool.
And if you're cool and we can at least develop a friendship, it might grow to be something.
It could grow to be something.
Yeah. But if you get weird, like no one wants to even be friends with you. Like there's a lot of people that I look back and say, I friend zoned them, and I, that there could have been more, but I wasn't thinking like that at the time. You know what I mean? Like you go back, it's like, wow, no, they were a great guy. And even if it doesn't work out with me, I'm like, I've got a girlfriend that I would still, because you're a great friend, and I have nothing to respect. So
that's nice. Yeah. And timing. I mean, you might not be into it right now, but you become friends, and down the road, you never know. Something might.
The stalkers don't care.
I know, Monica. Stalkers don't care. And Monica, right? Dead flowers means no. No. Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? I think this might be a good time to say goodnight. And Braden hung in here with us. He made his debut on Ladies' Night, hanging out with his mama.
It's a lot,
ladies. So anything coming up that you want to tell anybody about that you're doing on your radio show? Shout out your shows and your social media.
I'll be on Fox 5 tomorrow morning for Celebrity Dish at 10:30. So you can catch me on Fox 5 tomorrow morning. You can also catch me every weekday on the Frank Ski Show with Nina Brown from 3 to 7. Happy hour starts at 3. And my social media is Panina Brown on Instagram. Panina Brown.
Yay, Kokalani.
Yes, well, if you tune in to me on Saturdays, Face Off. Hey, Braden, I have the 4 p.m. Face Off, and this Saturday we're going to be doing Anthony Hamilton facing off Music Soul Child. Woo! Anthony Hamilton or Music Soul Child. It's gonna be some really good music, so make sure you tune in. And also you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Kokalani, Kokalani. And if you're on Clubhouse too, you can follow me there too.
Nice. Thank you so much. Good night, Kokalani. This has been amazing. Thank you, everyone, for following us. This was our first Ladies' Night in 2021. I love your comments, too. Thank you all so much for commenting, for joining us. Now, we're back. So every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock, join us right here, and we're going to do it big. Tell all your friends about it too, because the more the merrier. And you can follow me at Angela Stribling, and don't forget to listen to Pillow Talk with Angela every Sunday night right after Manzi Pullen and the original Quiet Storm. So we're going to be pillow talking every Sunday night at midnight. So check WHUR.com to find out everything we're doing at HUR at home. Thanks again for joining us. Have a good night.